Hi everyone, and welcome to this video where I'm going to be unboxing another SCRYE magazine. This is issue 4.5 and was released in January 1998. It includes a Babylon 5 CCG promo inside and a picture here. This is Claudia Christian from Babylon 5. So this would have come out at the end of 97 because I think the dates were like about a month before. That's when the Babylon 5 CCG came out, December 97. So this is the back. I'll take out the plastic, that's the card there. So this is the Babylon 5 promo you get. It's called Monitor Deal, and it's all about SCRYE characters and stuff, so I really liked it because I love the SCRYE characters in Babylon 5. So that was a nice promo to get. I did collect the Babylon 5 card game back when it was released, so it was really nice to see a promo. This is the first promo that I remember in a SCRYE magazine, so it's really nice to get. Then we get the actual magazine. Now it does come with a supplement, and this is a Star Wars CCG, and this must have been around the time just after Cloud City was released. On the back here you get an advert for First Contact, which was probably coming out about the same time that this magazine was released. So that was really cool. Lovely artwork here. I'll just go through the supplement first, very briefly. So what do we get? We get a rules supplement for A New Hope. So it's basically going through all the extra expansion sets that have come out since the release of the game up to this point. And it's quite interesting to see here, you get a pack, but it's not got the text at the bottom here. That's unusual to see. Then we get the Hoth rules. I should just say this is just a reprint of what's in the boxes, because you normally get a rules supplement in a booster box if you bought a booster box. But I couldn't always afford a booster box. Around the time Dagobah came out, that's when the first sort of boxes I used to buy was around Dagobah, Cloud City time. So this is for Dagobah here. There was a lot of extra rules for each set of Star Wars. It got very complicated quite quickly. Next set was Cloud City, and I think that's where this rule supplement finishes. So here on the back is an advert for the Decipher website, which it was around 98-ish. I first went on the internet. We had it at school, and it was around this sort of time that I was probably starting to go on the internet. We didn't have it at home at this point. So the internet was really rare, so things like this were invaluable because it had all the rules and you couldn't get them anywhere else other than in print form. So yeah, that's that. Now I'll go through the magazine. So inside we get more adverts. I used to like adverts for the games, not for the stores. You'll see later on there's card store adverts. But the adverts for the games were really cool because you got to see things without buying them here. Look, here is a really old version, because on this supplement advert you've got the actual pack design, and on here you've got the original design. So that was really interesting to see the original design, because all the packs were always sort of blue before this First Contact set, but they changed it to a more graphical representation of the set. We get contents, and these things used to annoy me, just American card stores. I didn't need to know about them. And then we get an introduction from the like the editor maybe, and just some legal stuff there. This is the bit that always used to interest me. If you watched my last video, you'll know that I was really into this section, and this was really interesting because it shows you news of upcoming sets. Obviously, again, no internet, we didn't know anything, so we had to read this if we wanted to know what was coming out. This is actually the issue before the last one, the one with the War Queen on the front. So, sorry, I've filmed them in the wrong order, but so this is going back in time a little bit. So at the top here we've got news on Jabba's Palace. It's saying it's coming in March, and the next issue it says it's coming in April. So this would be a common theme, you'd always get delays on sets and stuff. These dates in here were rarely right from my memory. So Jabba's Palace, that came out, it was around April time I think eventually. First Contact coming in mid-December, which was when this magazine came out. That was correct, that came out about December time. I remember that around Christmas. Then we get the Farjo collection. I mentioned that in the last video. If you go and watch that, I'll talk a bit more about that in there. And coming in March is this compatible box set of Deep Space Nine. That never came out. They only ever released the double set in the summer of '98. I don't think there's anything else. There's Babylon 5 The Shadow War. That was renamed The Shadows. It's the first expansion set for Babylon 5. So this was always sad to see, the end of a game. So here it says about X-Files CCG. There's no more X-Files. The license hasn't been dropped, but it means we won't be seeing any more sets. So there was only ever one expansion. There was none of these collector sets or anything, which was really sad. And we get a release calendar here. That was always useful to read. Saying there, Jabba's Palace in February, that did not happen. I'm telling you now. We get a bit about First Contact. Again, as I said, the set was only just about to come out when this magazine was released, so it was good to see little spoilers littered throughout. Here is the Farjo collection. We get a few extra spoilers of that, which was nice to see. Cloud City came out about, it might have been November time of '97, so this was really new. So there's probably going to be a lot of articles on Cloud City, hence why they did the supplement I showed you at the beginning. A bit about Babylon 5, initial strategies, because it has just been released. More Cloud City, we got some magic sprinkled through it. I wasn't a huge magic fan, I did attempt to get into it, but I never did. I was more interested in Star Wars because I was obsessed with Star Wars, and The Next Generation was my favourite show at the time in the 90s, so that's why I really enjoyed collecting and playing those games. Then we get an advert for Cloud City. This was a late advert really, because the set would have been out by now, but it was still nice to have this advert, like in the last one I showed you, the Jabba's Palace one. Little spoilers around it. Then we get magic. I'll go through this quite quick because my last video was very long. You probably didn't watch it all. A little bit about Annie Mayhem Dragon Ball Z. I remember Annie Mayhem coming out. I did buy a pack or two of that. More magic. Then we get the price guide. I went through that a bit more in my last video. I won't linger too long on that, but again, it was really useful to have these because of card lists. So there's a bit about X-Files here. They didn't have the whole list, just the ultra rares and how much they're worth, which was quite a lot of money, and they're still worth quite a lot of money. Promos, that's always useful because you never always know if you've got all the cards. These promos are quite rare, some of them. Babylon 5, nice card list there. Guide for Magic. And we get tournament winners. Again, things like this is why these magazines aren't around anymore, because all this stuff is available on the internet at a click of a button. Back then, in like the late 90s, it was impossible, so it was always in print form. These always used to intrigue me here. They used to run competitions to make dream cards, which are these unofficial designed cards. So I always used to like seeing those, and they've inspired me to make my own back then as well. Then we get, this must be a competition, and then an advert for the Farjo collection. So that's issue 4.5 of SCRYE. Please subscribe to my channel. I've got a couple more SCRYE magazines that I will be opening and showing you the contents and everything. So thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.